100th anniversary, in the very center of the city, on Kurortny Boulevard, the Narzan Baths building was constructed. It was built by Russian architects and engineers, although their powers of imagination clearly weren't lacking. Looking at this riot of forms, you might catch yourself thinking that rather than being in Russia, you're in the courtyard of a rich Raja's house. Perhaps only the contours of the building are Caucasian, appearing to echo the outlines of the mountains. I couldn't go inside, unfortunately, because it's being restored, so I'm heading for the site where the town was founded, the Kislovodsk fortress. This fortress was the first building in Kislovodsk. It was constructed in 1803 by decree of Emperor Alexander I for the defense of the resort from possible attacks of the mountain tribes. According to some reports, Kislovodsk was only attacked once. According to others, there were no attacks at all, so the fortress never got to demonstrate its military prowess. Nowadays, a local history museum is sited here. The first baths weren't smooth and white like modern baths. They were chiseled out of the rock, and the water grew cold in them very quickly. After about 5 minutes lying in them, you'd start getting cold. So the water was heated, most often with the aid of cannonballs, which were in great abundance in the fortress. They were heated in the fire and then lowered into the Narzan baths. From its very foundation, Kislovodsk was so popular that its small population couldn't provide accommodation for all those visiting. So, irrespective of rank, vacationers could rent single rooms that served as bedrooms, dining rooms and living rooms all in one, although back in the capital, St. Petersburg, they would have lived in magnificent mansions. Well, it's fairly cozy here, although personally I'm glad that guests now live in far more comfortable suites and there's now enough accommodation for all those on a vacation in Kislovodsk. Today the town has over 50 hotels and sanatoriums. The most modern opened very recently. It's called the Plaza, and I think that's where I'll stay. The 4-star international standard Plaza Sanatorium is the ideal place to rest and receive treatments. It's got everything an establishment of this class should have. Excellent service, the latest equipment and comfortable suites. It's hard to imagine what else you could possibly need. The drinking buvette in the plaza is located right in the hotel's main hall. It's very convenient. Next door are the restaurant and the dining room. And not every sanatorium in Kislovodsk can boast of having such a buvette. Here there's Narzan, Slavyanovskaya and Yesentuki mineral water. I've already tried Narzan and Slavyanovskaya, so today I'll try Yesentuki. The doctors recommend that you take the waters 15 to 20 minutes before dining, and no later. The hotel comprises 2 wings, one residential, one medicinal. They're linked by a covered passage for the convenience of guests. Here, without leaving the sanatorium, you can rest and amuse yourself whilst doing your health some good. Guests are offered a wide range of health procedures, hydro-massage baths, inhalations, aqua aerobics, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. The plaza has 274 rooms of various levels of comfort. Mostly, they're standard single rooms, double luxury rooms, and all manner of apartments with various interiors, from classical European to exotic designs decorated with bamboo and rattan cane. The whole family can get together in the cozy living room. You can also enjoy relaxing procedures right in your suites, in your jacuzzi. In the spacious studies you can get down to work, but not for long. To really chill out, try a game of chess in the recreation rooms. And of course, the plaza's real treasures are the magnificent bedrooms with their luxurious beds. After all, a good night's sleep does wonders for your health. Healthy eating's just as important. They keep a close eye on that here, carefully developing their menus. Next to each dish, there's the number of the diet that the dish matches. The fruits and drinks are also numbered. Dieting, it turns out, needn't be an ordeal. The main thing is to select the right ingredients. In the dining room, there's a new selection of dishes every day. It's all delicious, but there's one nuance. For dietary reasons, none of the dishes are salted. That's on the orders of the sanatorium's director, Nahum Kiren. You can find out why without taking a break from your meal. On these information boards, there's information on the harm of salt and sugar. But each decides for himself. There's salt and sugar on each table. I'll dine and then go to the hotel's lobby bar, where I'll be meeting the head of the sanatorium, Nahum Kiren. But for now, bon appetit! Hello, Nahum. Hello. It's wonderful to be here. To be honest, I haven't been in such a high-quality, fascinating and, most importantly, healthy place in ages. What's the concept behind your sanatorium? Let's put it this way. It's the traditional Kislovodsk elements, plus some fresh thinking from the 21st century. It's a combination of those factors. What do you mean by 21st century fresh thinking? In recent decades, medicine and resort treatments have really come a long way. Unfortunately, just in the minds of scientists, though, because the other sanatoriums are treating people the same way they did 20 to 30 years ago. We've moved on from that. We're introducing innovative new methods. We try them on ourselves to start with, and then introduce them. Chinese medicine, infitotrons, I could go on, but basically all the new techniques, which are in fact often invented in Russia, aren't used in this country for some reason, but we're introducing them at the sanatorium. This must be the medicine of the 21st century, right? Can we put it that way? Yes, of course. 21st century medicine differs from 20th century medicine in that in the past it involved pills, x-rays, injections and so on. All of them are very intrusive. Our methods are based on the fact that the organism has sufficient internal reserves. They just have to be roused into action. As they say, every sanatorium stands on 3 foundation stones. The first is medicine, the second is healthy eating, which is also a medical factor, and the third is normal living conditions, so that people can get some rest, restoring their strength and so on. We pay very close attention to all these factors. I've also noticed that the personnel are very warm and kind-hearted. Sometimes I didn't even have time to ask. They were already providing me with the answer. How do you select your staff? We've really relied on youth, and that's proved a wise decision. The nurses, the waitresses, everyone who deals with our guests, for the most part, they're all youngsters. It's a fairly young hotel and a fairly young sanatorium. It wasn't created long ago. You had to select the medical personnel. That was very important. How did you find them? How did you manage to get these wonderful specialists? Naturally, Kislovodsk, mineral vody in general, is rich in good specialists. The